What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Scott Boys. I'm with Chris and Eddie. How are we doing, guys?
What's
Hey,
up?
We're here with Sunday's podcast, the Week 1 season discussion for Season 2 of the 1v1 circuit. So, guys, how do we enjoy the first week?
oh, I
Oh,
liked it.
It went really well,
you two
honestly.
enjoyed it. You two actually won your games. Yeah.
Shamalama ding dong.
Uh, no.
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, I said, well, quite nice winning once in a while.
Well, I'm guessing something's completely wrong with Jack's mic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had someone being an idiot.
Oh, okay.
So what were we saying?
Eddie said it was nice to win once every often.
Eddie never wins, does he?
No,
No.
Eddie never wins. Right, so first thing we're going to talk about is Division 2. Division 2 is going to get a lot more of a focus this season because last season it didn't get any focus. And then Jay showed up and wrecked everybody
Yeah.
because nobody knew who the hell he was. This is to
Mhm.
prevent that happening again. Well, not prevent it, but at least give us a warning we're going to get anally raped.
no.
Well,
So,
we already know who's in Division 2, so we know who's
uh,
gonna come up and anally rape us.
oh, fuck's sake, Randy.
Looking
Why do I always have somebody down in that division that's gonna kill us?
forward to seeing you, Randy Sama.
No, Eddie, we all know who you want to see. Team Cass.
Yeah, Team Cast.
Chris don't want to see Team Cass. Chris wants to avoid Team Cass like the plague.
It's the true underdog story.
Right, so start off with Division 2 discussion. The first game of the week, the kick off Season 2, we saw Randy take on Ray. Randy came out on top 2-0. I think that's kind of what everyone was expecting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't convincing, apparently. Well, obviously, we're going to have to go off apparent from what we hear from the players. From what the players have said, it wasn't a convincing set for Randy. Randy didn't look good. Game 1, it was normal. Randy took the game like expected. Easy, quick, clean sweep, 10 minutes. Game 2 was a half an hour game. So, what does that what kind of look does that put on Randy? If he's
That he's
struggling
not
against
playing that
Ray,
well, very.
he's
It just
struggling.
puts on that he's probably not gonna stay top if he struggles.
Eddie, what do you think this like shows for Randy? Is this bad sign, or do you think this is a blip and he'll like improve? He'll get a bit better.
Well, obviously, having scrimmed Randy a couple of times, I don't think that this is going to be a bad sign. I mean, he still won. Um, we must not forget that Ray is still a good player. Obviously, not as good as Randy, but well, I think perhaps it was just a slip up. I think that we won't see worse from Randy than we did before, but even better, perhaps.
I totally agree with that. I feel like maybe it was a bit of underestimating the players, maybe thinking he could easily just glance through this. I think that there's maybe a wake up to go, and it's good that it happens in week 1 that they get the wake up call because then you can change it for the rest of the league. He's got 14 more weeks of competition to impress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, now on to Eddie's favorite kind of game. It's Team Cass versus Philip.
Team Gas.
Chris, you're very aware of Philip. Talk us through Philip. Tell us a bit about Philip, Chris, because you're more aware of him than me and Eddie are.
Well, Philip is a great person. Like, he plays very well. And if he's playing certain gods, it's quite hard to properly go against them.
Uh,
Yeah.
but which kind of gods? What gods are these? What gods are they?
Uh, Well, I can't remember the gods I played against Philip, honestly, back in like that 1v1 thing, not
That
Daze's thing, you know.
that was a shambles. Yeah.
Yeah, but that one. Yeah, I don't remember what I played against what Philip played those matches. Yeah,
No, but like
but I
apart
heard
from your friend, yeah, from your friend.
I heard from my friend that his Shark and Zeus is really good. Like it was very hard to get away from his Shark and his Zeus. Like early game, it seemed like an average kind of player's Zeus. And then when it came to late game, it was like, I can't do anything to him. He's just killing me so easily.
Oh,
Well, that is a mage, after all.
right. I'm gonna talk us through a bit through Cass. Cass is he's
Yeah,
never
'cause some
been
of us don't know.
he's never been mechanically gifted at a game before, but he's picked up Smite like there's no tomorrow. He's played the game for about 2 months. He has a Grandmaster's account on Xbox already. That's how much dedication he's putting into this. He's putting dedication because he wants revenge on Chris for costing him in the Halo tournament. And that is the greatest story that I didn't even have to try and plan this story. It just happened.
Team Cass, a true underdog story.
And that's why we can hear Eddie screaming Team Cass, yeah. I'm personally Team Chris. Personally.
I'm Team Cass because I love a great underdog story.
I'm Team
Nothing
Chrissy.
against
I'm,
you,
I
I'm,
don't know if Team Cass is underdog. He could be better than me. He might have more
But he's still
mechanical
the
skill
underdog.
than me.
he's in
He's
Division
still the
2.
underdog because
He's
he's
in
from
Division 2.
Division 2.
And I'm
Yeah,
still...
but so what?
Chris,
Randy's in Division 2. He's not the fucking underdog. Everyone knows he's gonna
Yes, he
come
is.
up later on
Yeah,
and
Randy's-
fucking wreck our lives.
Randy's the underdog story that nobody wants to see. Stay down
Cass is
Division
the
2.
underdog story I want to see.
I still don't understand how just being in Division 2 means you're an underdog when we all know once they fucking come up to this division, we're screwed.
To be fair, was Jay an underdog?
Yeah, he was.
My point
No.
exactly. Like, how can you turn around and say, "Oh, it's an underdog story," when we all know he's gonna fucking come up and completely shite on our fucking lives? Literally,
Maybe
just
I
turn
just wanna
around and
see-
say,
Speak for
"You might
yourself.
be in
See Cass
Division
shite
1."
on you.
Speak for yourself, you two. Speak for yourselves.
Yeah, Eddie, you're gonna get fucking raped by both of them.
Still Team
I don't
Cass.
care.
Eddie's still
because
Team Cass. Don't worry, Chris. I'm Team Chrissykins.
No, I don't care what team you're on. I just don't like the fact that it's meant to be an underdog story. Like,
You
still,
don't care.
he's
You don't
fucking
care
good
about
at
me.
Smite.
You don't care about me.
Yeah, Jack, I do care about you. I just don't care what team anyone's on.
I care
I'm
about
just
you,
trying
Jack.
to say that he is a bloody underdog. If he's beating people like Philip with 2 months of playing Smite, then there's no bloody way on earth he's an underdog.
Not in that division. But he will be when he comes
Yeah,
up
Ben,
to ours.
okay, now let me just
he's
say
the dean.
this, yeah?
He's the dean.
Jay,
He's
Randy,
the dean of that
they-
division.
Yeah, but Randy and Jay, they were both in Division 2.
No,
Jay's come to Division 1,
look,
but do you really
wait,
think he was an underdog?
Wait, guys, I've noticed something. Division 2, they just replaced Jay and Dean. We got Jay and Dean and they replaced them with Randy and Cass. They're exactly the same. Cass is just so much better than the rest of them, but Randy's just sitting up on top. That's literally what Jay and Dean's story was. Dean was better than everybody, but then there was Jay.
He was better than everyone, and then Jay's like, "Bitch, you forget I'm here."
Bitch, sit down. Sit down in second place. Kind of what Jay did to the
Bitch,
rest.
they might be your seats, but you're my seat.
Kind of what Jay did to me. Bitch, sit down in second place.
It's like, just like, I'm gonna win. My only competition right now is truly Michael, and Jay just comes out and be like, "Bitch, you got me now. Can't do nothing.
Fuck.
Eat it."
Right. So,
Even without Nike.
Cass won this game 2-0, right? And Cass took game 1 in 8 minutes, and he took game 2 in 10 minutes. But he played Chronos both games. He played Chronos both games. Now with the new patch coming out where Kronos isn't as strong at chasing people down, he's still good at it, but he has to give up items to do it now. He has to get an item to be able to chase people down. Will this affect Cass, or do you think Cass has got a wider god pool, and will he be able to keep up the momentum he's gotten from this game?
Team Cass will be okay.
I bet you he's got a larger god pool. I bet you. He's gonna be one of those people that you just think, oh, he's got one god, let's ban it, and then he brings out 99 other gods that just Shrek your day.
Even though there's not 99 other gods in the game, there's only 83
Do you
other
think I
gods
care
apart
how
from
many there are?
Kronos. There's only 83 more when you ban Kronos.
Do you
Thank
think
you
I
very
really
much.
care how many more there are?
Yes.
I just gave a random number. You don't have to, like, tell me.
Chris, you're a noob.
Right, okay.
Technically 84 when the 4th season comes out. Ha! You were
We'll
even
go-
wrong.
No,
We'll go on.
because Zenbo comes out one patch later.
Yeah, bitch.
I was told it comes out the same patch, thank you very much,
No.
so don't get it wrong.
Well, okay. We'll go on to the next game because this is turning really bad. Lotad versus Adam. Now, Chris, talk us about Lotad.
There's not really much to say. I've only seen him play against Philip and Adam, and that's the only times I've seen him play Smite. He used to play on PC, but told me absolutely nothing about it. Didn't tell me his god pool. All he said is, by the way, I've been watching your Smite series and your team training, and there's 3 people I truly like.
Which are...
And then I just cut me, you, and Jay.
Ouch.
Don't worry, Eddie, I like you.
Well, I'm his friend, Eddie. He's obviously gonna put me in there, and Jay and Jack are like the best out of all of us. And he does like someone that he has a chance to beat. He wants true competition, that's all I can say. He's a competitive person.
Ouch.
I like you, Eddie, don't worry.
Thank you. I like you too, Jack.
When you
Honest.
don't beat his scrim partner.
Yeah, don't beat my scrum partner, please. That wasn't very nice.
Well, sorry about that.
You're just making it look like Jack's a really bad scrim partner that doesn't help his other
To
personality.
be fair, I haven't scrimmed him yet.
Oh, never mind
Haven't
then.
scrimmed Jay either yet.
Haven't
Yeah, no-
scrimmed Jojo yet.
Nobody's scrimming right now. What's the fucking point?
I noticed one thing. I think the only person out of any of us who has tried asking for their scrim partner is Luke.
Luke.
And Dean's just like, I'm only fucking stuck with you because no one was left. I don't want to scrim you.
That's you should. I wish we can edit because I don't want to keep that in this. Like, I feel bad for Luke now for you just shouting that out.
No, but like seriously, let's be honest.
Like
it was,
do
it
you
was
know how
thrown
happy Luke
together.
was to have a scrim partner?
It kind of was thrown together. I think. Tell me this: who would you rather have, Luke or Randy?
Randy.
Okay. Now let me just say this, yeah. Why are we bringing Randy into this?
Because
There's
Dean could
and
have just
Luke.
Dean could have just scrimmed Randy.
Randy.
That Dean would have been happy not to scrim anybody from this league. He would have just scrimmed Randy the entire time.
Randy.
But I interfered, so banner.
I think I prefer to scrim like Cass.
No, Chris.
Team Cass.
You-
Just so
right.
like it's not like I want to learn his god pool or anything.
You just want to get his revenge out the way, don't you?
Yeah, basically, and just turn around to Eddie and say it's done. Piss off.
Right. So let's talk about Adam a bit. Adam's. What's the one notable fact about Adam? He's best friends with Michael.
Yeah, that was the like once you know that, it's kind of obvious about everything else. I think.
Yeah, he's not as good as Michael. Doesn't have Michael's aimbot.
He doesn't play Michael's aim plot. He plays Michael's role.
Good point. So, Lotad 2-0 to this, and Chris, you got to see the game, so I'll let you lead the game, like the discussion on this game.
Well, what I saw, it was like the first game, was a very close game between the two. Like, I don't remember how many kills were in the first game, I'll admit that. But all I know is one Phoenix was almost down when, like, Lotus Phoenix was down at one point against the Rajin, like, and Lotus was Medusa. And next thing you know, like, it just turned around, Lotus was getting a couple of kills, killing the Rajin out when Rajin was building, like, physical protection, I think, at this point. And then Lota got the Phoenix, and then it turned out to be a surrender because it was a 40-minute time period when you die, and he died. He had fire minions, and Adam only had normal minions, so I think he kind of knew he had lost at that point. Second game was Cupid versus, what was it?
The gods don't matter, Chris. The gods don't matter. Just talk to us about the game.
Oh yeah, it was Cupid versus Xbalanque. And it was a 7-0 kind of sweep kind of way. Like, Xbalanque got the tower, but couldn't go anywhere near the Phoenix. And Lota was just constantly going forward, staying in the middle, killing the Xbalanque when he came near, or trying to kill the Xbalanque when he came near. There was quite a few parts where I think Adam got out skillfully, or Lota had mucked up a shot. But other times I felt like it was either skill or just bad luck or lag, I don't know. One of those, and then Lota just, got the Phoenix and killed the the Titan.
So, overall, Lotad had a decent performance.
Just about, I think.
So, does that suggest that
It
he'll
was better than performance, I'm just saying that.
Does that suggest he'll be in the spot that we thought he's going to be in between that second and fifth? That little miss up between anyone can finish anywhere in those spots.
Pretty much, yes, I think so. Because I feel that he played a lot better in the second game than he played against Philip.
What about Adam? How's this looking for Adam?
Well, I'm just gonna say, if Adam's Rajin more than what it was at the late game, I think Adam can actually start winning games against other people, because that Rajin looked to beat from the start of the match. Think about the 15-minute mark. Then the minute mark, it looked like his skill was kind of going lower, or it just looked like it was getting harder to kill the Medusa. Like, sometimes he was using ults a bit too early. His ults actually were doing a lot of damage to my friend. I will admit that, which is another reason why I feel like he could go places if he used other gods like that and got slightly better with them.
Okay. So, Eddie, do you have anything to add to that?
Nope, because I didn't see the match. I can't really say anything, and I also don't know the people.
Right, so we'll move on to games which are much more interesting to watch or listen to talk about.
Or is the only thing you can watch.
Division 1.
The only matches you can watch.
Let's start off with Chris versus Luke.
Oh god.
Well, that kicked off, and Chris has one god in his god pool. Confirmed.
Yes, only one. Luke has 2 confirmed gods that shouldn't be in his god pool. I'm joking, Luke.
Well, game one started off with controversy, Chris.
Yeah, no, that was a joke. I did say I'm joking.
Eddie, did you catch this game at all?
No, I didn't catch the match. I'm sorry. I was at
Cupid versus Arachne game 1. Luke DCs at the start of the game. Chris doesn't pause. Chris just keeps on playing. Doesn't pause for Luke.
Excuse me, I wasn't even level 4 when Luke joined back.
Wow.
And he dings level 4 just as Luke gets back in.
Oh wow. That is actually like.
Talk us through your opinion. Talk us through your opinion.
Yeah, shouldn't we have the rule that every player has 2 pauses, and I believe when someone DCs, you can just call a pause right there.
No.
No. The
No,
rule
no,
of
no,
two
'cause no,
pauses
no,
is
no,
only
no,
if you
no,
need to do
you,
something
no,
during the
no,
game.
no. The rule of the pause is you have to pause. If Luke's not able to pause, it's up to the other player to pause for him. If the other player doesn't want to pause, give up one of his pauses for Luke, that's fine.
Well, I find that to be odd, but okay.
Also, the fact that if you think about it, Luke DC'd in Aaron's game. Aaron paused. Look what happened in their game. Do
Luke
you
came back
really
and won the
think
game.
I'm going
was a
to
fair game,
risk?
Chris.
No, but Aaron threw the game off the pause.
Exactly.
Aaron lost
Do you
all his
really think I'm
momentum due
going
to a
to pause a
pause.
game and then through the game? Because
But
his
it was at the
Arachne
beginning
is
of the
something
first game.
to.
There was no momentum you could have lost
No,
there, Chris.
no, but Eddie,
Yeah, but if his
Eddie, what,
Arachne bloody
Eddie,
gets ahead of
Eddie,
me, I would have
Eddie,
lost.
Eddie, if Chris paused, I would have lost the plot with him if he paused. I went on a huge
Thank you.
rant about the fact that you don't pause for your opponent. You take that fucking shit and you take it to the bank.
Jack,
You
if you
win that-
remember,
you
you
win
have
that game.
you have already done that for you've already ranted to me about that from last season.
Yep, you win that you take that shit and you win the game. It's tough
Even
luck.
Luke was
It's
okay with
tough
it
luck.
because he
It's
knows
tough
it.
luck. The other person DCs, that's bad luck, but it's not your problem. You win the game.
What?
You just gotta win the game. At the end of the day. 3 points is 3 points. And it puts Chris, and Chris needed the 3 points. Let's be serious, he needed it.
Yeah, because you're against Luke next. I'm against Jay.
If Chris didn't get 3 points out of this, I would have put him in a bad spot. And so, I agree with your decision, Chris, we're not to pause.
Thank you. Like, I will admit, in the game I felt like a bit of a dick, but then I explained to Luke how if I had paused, I would have probably been in a worse position than I would have been. And Luke understood it afterwards. He said it's fine.
It gave you the lead you needed to be able to deal with early game Arachne.
But
That's
then I
fine.
will say this, Jack.
Mhm.
Sometimes the early game Arachne didn't fully 100% work.
I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, so game 2 was much more close. It was a Cupid versus Freya matchup, and I
Much more
personally think this game was really good to watch. And I personally think you had a great performance. Your timing on abilities was godlike. Apart from the time you dashed into Phoenix.
Yeah, no, that was... I already knew that after I
Hello?
died then...
Hello?
Yeah.
Lag, Chris. Why did you dash into a Phoenix?
Let me just say, I had completely forgotten the length of a dash and had to do it very quickly, or else I would have died anyway. And I didn't aim it correctly because I forgot I turned my sensitivity down.
It was almost as bad as. Let me think of something.
Lincoln
It was
Lewis?
almost as bad as you going to the wrong side of the map on Conquest because you forget what side we're on.
Shut up about that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had something
Speaking
stuck
of
in my,
nobody,
stuck in my
so you
throat.
forget all of your bills.
So Eddie, you're you've got a lot of game knowledge, right? On matchups and
Mm.
that. Cupid versus Freya. What's the matchup like there?
Cupid versus Freya. I believe Freya could have won that. Probably even should have won that. Yes, Freya should have won that.
A lot of the time we saw Luke missing his basics, but when he was hitting his basics, Chris was still hitting him even though Luke had haste and fatalis.
Well, the thing is just, Freya should be
Luke
able to
wasn't-
shred.
Luke wasn't
Like, Freya
swerving
should-
that, that's the only issue.
The thing is, Freya should be able to shred through Cupid way faster than Cupid shreds through Freya. Not only that, but a good Freya basically renders Cupid's ultimate useless because she will just wait with her ult till he ults, and that's his ult goal.
Yeah,
and
no,
she
no,
gets
no,
free
no.
damage.
Luke did do that a couple of times.
Like,
But then also try to go for
that's why-
kills with the ult and then got caught out with the Cupid ult on landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what you shouldn't do. You should always wait with that ults.
So
But usually Freya should be winning that matchup,
Okay.
especially if they like perhaps get online one Magi's Blessing perhaps for the hard bomb. That would be enough.
Yeah,
Like
that's fine.
like I don't usually see Cupid winning that.
Right, we'll move on to the second game of the week. We saw JoJo take on Dean. This was a split. They split this 1-1, right down the middle. Dean finally arrived, and
Jojo!
I felt really bad for Chris. You remember what I said during the podcast? Dean fought so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
No, you almost sang Metallica.
No, but I felt so bad for saying that right after Dean split, because all I could feel was Dean going, yeah. I thought it didn't matter, Jack.
Yeah, but Jack, I feel bad now because remember the song I sang.
No, Chris, that's not. But
Okay,
yeah,
never mind. Screw you.
the surprising thing in this game was Dean took game one.
Okay, that is surprising.
Because JoJo stupidly let Thanatos through. Like I
I
thought,
see.
I thought this was like the rule of thumb. Don't give Dean Thanatos or Soul,
Yeah.
and you give Dean Thanatos, and he kills you over and over again. Like JoJo, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Game 2 came out and
Oh,
JoJo stomped him. It was a 6-minute surrender.
No.
Because JoJo decided, let's go back to season 1 strats, Chiron it up.
Hmm.
So, Eddie, I'll go straight to you with the matchups. Game 1 was a Thanatos versus an Artemis matchup. What is the matchup like there? JoJo was counterpicked.
Where was the Jean-Queen?
Thanatos versus Artemis.
Obviously,
That
JoJo was
matchup
first pick and then
can-
got countered pick, so I'm just letting you know so you don't think JoJo's a complete idiot.
Like that matchup is probably going to be won in like 90% of the games by the Thanatos,
hmm
just because first of all Artemis has no way to get away. That's the first thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Like especially when she gets hit by that scythe, she gets slowed even more. That's really rough for her. The silence on Thanatos 3 can fuck her up as well. I reckon if the Artemis can, well, obviously, to be honest, a Magi's Blessing or a Beats is all it needs to counter her ultimate, and after that, I don't know, you would have to hit every basic on the Artemis and be the luckiest bastard with your crits in order to win that.
Chris, add a bit more to the players themselves. Why do you think JoJo would let through Dean Thanatos? Because you're a scrim partner, so you maybe have is there something else he's scared of? Maybe because he did ban the soul, but he banned the circuit.
I'm gonna say this, yeah? Part of me feels like JoJo watched a certain game and knew of a Sasuke's move. And I think you know what game I'm talking about, Jack. So don't ask me, because I honestly haven't spoken to JoJo since my last scrim, and this was like ages ago in season 1, so I have no idea what his mindset was. But I'm reckoning that he wanted to play Artemis because he felt like his Artemis is getting better, yeah? But the taunt on Circuit is abysmal, that you just can't attack the Circuit. 1v1, the taunt is just really good, so if you get caught and you don't have your beads up, you can be somewhat screwed as an Artemis. So I'm guessing JoJo just wanted to play Artemis.
Well, talking about Circuit, like obviously the taunt is really good, but then again you need to
Also the
think.
poison.
Yeah, you need to think about Circuit is one of the squishiest, if not the squishiest assassin there is.
Yeah, but there's one thing you forget though. I've played Dean Circuit, and that wasn't really squishy. And
Well,
I
I've also
remember
played Dean Circuit.
I played with Jing Wei, and my Jing Wei does heavy damage. Yeah, it was pretty hard for me to kill that Circuit. Not
I've
mainly
also
because of it being squishy, but because of its speed.
I've also played Dean Circuit before, and she's actually the only god of Dean I've ever beaten.
Well, that's
Oh.
pro. Did you play a warrior?
No, I played another assassin. Ain't gonna spoil who it is, but I played another assassin.
I do think everyone with a brain knows who the fuck you played. Right. Okay. So game two. We're gonna talk about.
Who
we're
did
gonna
I
talk,
play?
do you want me to spoil it?
Spoil it, come on.
Bakasura.
No.
Yes, Jack has a brain.
Okay, maybe.
Alright, so let's talk about game two. Jojo got the Chiron, and ended up playing against Dean's Apollo. So, Eddie, any insight to the matchup there? Is it pretty even, or is it, or is there?
I'm actually not sure, to be honest. Like, let me think for a second. This matchup is interesting because obviously Chiron has, I don't know. This one's actually pretty interesting. I think this could go either way.
Mhm.
I'm actually leaning towards Chiron though, just because of the ult. Obviously, Apollo can get in and out of sticky situations with his ult, but
Yeah.
if push comes to shove, and they both ult, a Chiron will win that fight simply because Apollo in the animation of going into the ult is at his most vulnerable, while Chiron, when he's in his ult, is immune to damage and immune to everything.
No, he's not immune to damage. He's
Um,
immune to death. He can't die. He
Yeah,
can't die.
yeah,
He can't die till the
that's what
ult's
I mean.
over. He can't die till the ult's over, and he can be revived and
Yeah,
kill
that's what I mean.
somebody.
Yeah, like that's why I believe Chiron has a slight edge, but not really that much, to be honest. Like it's a pretty even. Like I believe in this matchup, whoever wins the first fight probably wins the match.
Well, Chris, talk us through Jojo's mindset on talk us through Jojo and Chiron. Does Jojo play?
I don't think I played the Chiron.
No, you've played against this Chiron before, Chris.
Oh, okay. Don't remember his Chiron really.
That was the first game you ever played against him, and he shreked your Neith, who was your best god back then. He absolutely demolished your Neith into the ground.
Okay.
Well, no, he played the old kind of style that he had, the really ultra aggressive style. Is this like the old Jojo coming back with his new skill, or is this just him with Chiron? He's just really aggressive.
Oh god. The only thing I could say is if I actually saw him and screamed him recently, I'd be able to tell you. But right now, all I can really say is I think it's just his Chiron being very aggressive, because that's how his Chiron is played best, or that's how he plays Chiron best.
Mhm.
And in a way, you could say it could have been Jojo being nervous about the first loss and wanting to actually win game two.
Which
They
is
probably
which
played
is odd
ultra
when we
aggressive.
This is odd when we talk about Jojo losing game ones and winning game twos.
Yeah, exactly. So he probably thought to himself, shit, I lost a game one, I need to do something, and he probably thought that the best way to actually win game two and actually get a point is to play an ultra aggressive god, or his ultra aggressive god. That's
Okay.
all I can think.
Okay. Third game we saw was Eddie vs Aaron. Now, I don't want to lead this. I want you two to talk about this game. So, what do we say?
That's kind of hard, though. That'd
Eddie,
be kind of hard for me to talk about it.
Eddie, talk us through game one.
Okay, well, game one. Give me a second. Who did Aaron pick again? Let me think. I'm thinking. Who did Aaron go? This. Oh, he went Uller. Right. He went Uller. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Game one, he played Uller. I played Hoonbots. Talking about the matchup, I got to counter pick. Yeah, I do not really feel like Hoonbots is a counter to Uller.
Yeah, but Humboldt's is just fucking OP. If you think
Well-
about it, if you get your ult off, then fucking hell. Do heavy damage, they're gone. Suicide.
Well, yeah. But obviously, like, this matchup was very dependent on who hit his combos better, who combos off better, and the problem that
All I'm gonna-
Uller has in the matchup against Toonbats is
Uh,
Uller
guys,
is,
guys, you two just keep discussing that, and I'll be back in a minute. I need to make a phone call.
Okay.
Uller is more of a damage over time
Aggressive combo?
god. Well, like you can obviously use your 1, your 3 in both stands to do a lot of damage, but you're never gonna kill them like that. You need to hit a few basics as well. While
Yeah, no,
Hoonbats is a-
that's obvious. But Humboldt's, you just need to use your
Hoonbats is
monkey, go close, and do your other moves, I think it.
Right,
the
Hoonbats
monkey
is a very
first?
burst heavy god. That's why.
But then the other thing is, I'm just saying this now, I'm probably totally wrong. But has Aaron even played Ula that much?
That I don't know.
Because, like, he might play on Xbox, but on PS4, I don't think I've ever seen him touch Ula.
I don't know, but he was.
Has he played Ula in any other match?
I don't know. I mean, he was hitting his abilities okay, so it wasn't too shabby.
Yeah, but then Aaron is mechanically skilled, so that could just be his skill coming into it.
As I said, I don't know.
Or he stole Michael's aimbot. For part of parcel.
Well, anyway, talking about the early game of the match, I got absolutely shot on early game. I believe he was 2 or 3 kills up on me. I got I got first blood, but he also got the counter kill right away through minions. And then he got I believe 3 more kills after, because Hoonbats early game is a bit meh, while Ulo's early
It's
game
not
is
the best.
strong. Yeah, Ulo's early game is stronger. So I got kind of destroyed early game, but I managed to keep up in levels due to buff security and wave clear and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I believe when I hit level 10, I'm trying to think what started changing this. I started to get kills. Oh, I started to get kills because I had full Jotun's Wrath. That's when I started getting kills. That's when the match kind of turned around, and from that point on, I kind of snowballed hard. So, yeah.
Game 2.
Game 2 was Aaron got to counterpick. I went Afro, Aaron went Thanatos.
Okay. Now, Afro is pretty good, I think, against Santos. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, here's the thing. If
Obviously, the ult you can't really do much with, like, against with an Aphrodite back off. because if he executes you, you're done.
Oh, the Thanatos ult isn't a problem. The Thanatos ult you can just cancel with an Afro ult.
Oh no, that I understand, but what I mean is, if you don't have your ult up, you can't use a backup for an execution, yeah? You can
Oh,
use
yeah,
your
I
ult,
see.
Chris,
yeah?
can you do me a favour and you two finish off the podcast so emergencies come up for me?
Okay.
So can you two do the rest of the topics? I'm gonna keep my recording on so my viewers can listen to you, but I'm not gonna be able to come back. So
Okay.
just go through the rest of the topics. Right. Cheers, guys.
Okay, see you, Jack. We'll carry on with your game too, Eddie.
Well, the thing is, you got to be low enough to get executed first before.
Yeah, no, you need to be low enough to get executed, but the scythe has quite a long range, you have to admit that. So
Yeah,
there's
but-
not much backup to do. The 3, on the other hand, you can quickly back off and push him away once the 3 comes out, and there's a chance you might not get hit against
But
it.
the
So
back,
Afro
but the
has a
backup
good
is the
point.
most important part.
No, it's the burns, the healing.
Not only that, but I also built very tanky. I went double defense, I believe,
Okay.
which helped a lot because I went higher than Yumi in line, because he wasn't very basic attack focused. And
I'm
then
guessing
I
you also got
went-
thorns? Question mark.
No, I didn't. I got Wraths under Swedix.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah, I heard this. Was the final score like 10-4, 9-4, 1 of the 2?
that was on the Hoombuds game. That was 10-4.
Oh shit, yeah. And then Luke was telling me about game 2. I remember. Sorry, I wasn't watching this match, guys. I was happily eating my dinner, so you know.
Anyway, the back off I used most of the time to get, I kissed him to get in, dropped my boots, and then backed him off, and that would most of the time do enough damage for him to have to stay out of the battle. I was quite lucky that he missed a lot of scythes, otherwise that game could have went differently.
Yeah, I think that is the main issue, with Thanatos. You can have a good Thanatos to be able to dodge, but if you don't hit most of your scythes, you are somewhat screwed, because you're not healing as much, and you're not doing heavy damage. Your 2 and 3, yeah, okay, does damage, but your 2 and 1 does heavy damage, plus heals a great ton. And if you're not healing, it's kind of screwed.
Yes, well, so much to those matches.
Okay, now standard MVP Division 2, which is our next topic. Eddie, you've heard all the games, yeah? You've heard all the
Team
games.
Cass! Team Cass!
What, so you think Cass was the MVP?
Team Cass!
You're gonna explain your reasons why?
Well, we did hear that it was a double stomp. And also, I gotta support my man. I gotta support my main man, Cass. You know. Obviously,
Yeah, no, I can understand that,
I also
but
got to
I'm
support
just-
my brother
yeah.
Randy. I also got to support my brother Randy. But I talked about this to Randy before in my predictions video I did with him. When push comes to shove, it's gotta be Team Cass. Sorry, Randy. You're the MVP of my heart, but for the first round it was Cass.
Okay, well, for my predictions, and this is going to be completely different, yeah? For my MVP for Division 2, I'm going to go completely different. I'm going to actually say Ray.
Okay.
Yes, okay, he lost his games, but no offense, most people did expect Randy to stomp everyone. So to hear that Ray gave Randy 2 good games, yeah, must mean he played exceptionally well. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, but
Yeah,
didn't
Cass
Jack say that Ray gave Randy only one close game and one
Yeah, but still, yeah, okay, 1 close game, yeah, and then got stomped. Yeah, Cass gave 2 stomps, but you have to just think, out of those 2, Ray was technically the underdog, out of Randy and Ray. If you thought that those 2 were going to come up against, you would expect Randy to stomp both games, yeah?
True.
So the fact that Ray, who's come down from Division 1, probably hurting him somewhat, emotionally, for coming down from Division 1 into Division 2 from relegations, yeah? You just have to think, he's playing better in a way. That's all I'm saying. That's my thing. Okay. And after that is the MVP for Div 1, Eddie.
Uh, don't actually know. You say first.
The there's 4 matches. Jay won 2-0, I won 2-0, you won 2-0, and Jojo and Dean drew.
Well, I don't want to sound cocky, but I might want to give
If
it
you
to
want,
myself.
if you wanna say you're the MVP, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, simply because I beat Aaron without using any warriors, and for me, that's an achievement, so that's why.
See, I'm gonna go quite differently.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, I can either give it to 2 people here, yeah?
hmm
Like, 3 games, but let's all agree. 3 games. The 3 people that actually won 2-0, they technically did stomp the other person, or they played a lot better than the other person. You will admit that, yeah?
hmm
So honestly, I'm gonna have to give the MVP to the 2 people that drew, Dean and Jojo.
Okay.
Because yes, all of us are stomping, but it's like you would like me versus Luke. Most people expected me to win. You versus Aaron. Most people would expect Aaron to win, but I'm just gonna say after his losing spree and the fact that if he does get slightly angry, he loses it. You would think you would win then, especially as you train new gods now a lot, and Aaron plays new gods that he probably hasn't trained as much. So it's hard to put you with the MVP because both of you played really well, and you had good matchups where Jojo and Dean, they played 2 great games together, and it went really well for them. Okay, guys. For the final part, we have an announcement, yeah? And Eddie, you haven't heard this yet, but I have.
Okay.
Coast Dazer, not Jack, like Jack's just using Dazer's account, but Dazer Jones is creating a tournament which will have draft 4 bands like this, but there is one complete difference that we haven't done. It's gonna be on Assault.
Okay. Wow, that is
I'm
actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is. Like, we all think 1v1, 4 bands, it's gonna be Joust, isn't it? But no, it's on the Assault map on Assault. I'm guessing that means it's gonna be like we both ban 2 gods and we'll get a random god, I think.
No, it's still gonna be draft for Banston. Because you
Oh,
can't,
yeah,
you
no.
can't ban and then random.
Yeah. What am I saying? I'm sorry. I'm fucking up there. I'm just thinking Assault is where you get a random god. If it's draft for, but I'm guessing it's just, yeah, it's just the Assault map. So you can't go back up, unless you die, and there's no buffs. So it basically means you're just going to have to outfarm the other person in the lane and kill them to get higher. So this will prove your great 1v1 skills.
What?
So yeah, that was our announcement. Obviously, give Dazer a thumbs up for creating this tournament. Give Jack a thumbs up for the league because it's going really well right now. Week 1 went really well. And hopefully the rest of the weeks go as well. Would you agree, Eddie?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been Chris, he's been Eddie, Jack's been Jack, but